Hello and welcome. This is TBC News. Our top stories. CPC pledges to maintain cooperation with Tanzania. Public institutions instructed to adopt operational reforms. Good evening, I am Kanki Mwaigomole. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online. Also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook and X pages at TBC Online. The Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Energy, Dr. Doto Biteko, has met and held talks with the top leadership of the Chinese Communist Party, CPC, led by committee member and Director General of Bureau I Department of the Organization of the Central Committee, or CPC Party Mao Jingzi, accompanied by the Chinese ambassador to Tanzania, Sheng Mijang. The talks were held in Dar es Salaam. Dr. Biteko highlighted the areas in which Tanzania and China could further enhance cooperation, which include governance and technological issues. On the other hand, Jingji acknowledged how the government of Tanzania supports China on international platforms, so as the two countries' ruling parties have had long-lasting relations dating back to the late Mwalimu Julius Nyerere and Mao Zedong's era. The Treasury Registers Office has instructed various institutions and public organizations in the country to reform the structure of their operations in order to increase productivity in these organizations, as well as to increase national income. Teddy Mparanyanga has more details.
Speaking at a meeting with media editors, Treasury Registrar Nehemia Mchechu asserted that there are many benefits of the new law enacted on the operation of public institutions, while emphasizing strong cooperation between public and private organizations.
Kwa hiyo huwa nasema kama hatujazi reform hizi taasisi.
That is why I say, if we don't reform this institution, it means our income cycle will continue to be small and will continue to hurt each other. Taxes must be high if the government's sources of income are small. The contribution of private institutions is good and huge. It is always not a bad thing to have an institution that has a combination of government and the private sectors. Therefore, we must try to perform certain reforms.
On the other hand, the chairman of the Tanzania Editors Forum, Deodatus Balile, emphasizes on the importance of communication in stimulating the development of various public institutions, while commending the existing cooperation between public organizations and the media in the country.
This procedure, initiated by public organization to talk to the press, is impressive. I congratulate you very much. It gives us an opportunity to know each other, but it also gives the country an opportunity to be recognized through what is doing in this organization. If there is a big thing that is troubling third world countries, then it is a lack of communication.
The meeting has been attended by various media editors and journalists and has been marked with the theme, Impactful Change in Public Institutions for National Development.
The Minister for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Prof Menda, urges the leaders of the African Quality Assurance Network, African, to manage the quality and standards of education and collaborate amongst each other so as to achieve academic excellence. Here are more details.
Professor Menda gave the remarks while opening the 14th Network Forum, which was held for the first time in Tanzania, whereby he added that the higher educational institutions should produce graduates who will compete in the international labor market.
So, while we are looking to fashion our education to fit the labor market, we may run the risk of making every academic institution a vocational institution, and forget that we also need to have critical thinking along the way, and also push through frontiers of knowledge which are not necessarily of immediate relevance to the labor market.
Furthermore, Professor Menda insisted on recruiting qualified staff at universities who can impart knowledge and skills to the students.
We must, our students must get very high GPA like the rest. So if we don't give them GPA like the rest, maybe we'll not recruit more. They have to see that if you come to our institutions, you stand a better chance of getting first class down the road. And when you come to labor market, those who go private because their parents have means.
The Executive Secretary of the Tanzania Commission for Universities, TCU, Professor Charles Kihampa, has said that the network is important in capacity building and exchange their knowledge and experiences.
It is a known fact that quality assurance in higher education requires concerted effort of various stakeholders, both within and outside our area of jurisdiction. I'm happy that this forum has attracted participants from different institutions and who at different capacity in their respective institutions.
The need for a high level of digital literacy among lecturers, students, and all stakeholders in the higher education, research, and innovation ecosystem cannot be underestimated in successful digital higher education.
22 countries are members of the Network of Quality Controllers in Africa, which was established in 2009 in Accra, in Ghana.
The Deputy Minister for Works, Engineer Godfrey Kasekenya, says the government has prepared strong strategies to create a conducive environment for architects in the country as part of enhancing development. He made the remarks on the commemoration of the 40th anniversary of the Architectural Association of Tanzania. Peter Mganga has the following report.
The Architects Association in Tanzania was established in 1982 with the aim of ensuring various infrastructure in the country are built in high quality. Furthermore, another objective was provision of education to the public on construction issues for the wider interest of the nation. Earlier today, the Deputy Minister of Works, Engineer Godfrey Kasekenya, elaborates on how the government creates a friendly environment for architects in the country.
We have tried to our level best to make sure that most of our buildings, if not all of them, especially government buildings, you can't build any building if they are not actually designed by the so-called architects.
On the other hand, the outgoing president of the Architectural Association of Tanzania, AAT, David Kibebe, says that they will better the standards and quality of the services provided.
As we move, yes, I see the AAT is growing far and far, and at the end of the day, if we get enough support from the government, and if our complaints or our whatever what we want the government to look into it are sorted, then we'll be far and we'll be far up there. So I'm not worried. We are progressing very well.
Furthermore, interior designer Sayuni Bupe here elaborates on the contribution of women architects in bringing about the development to the nation.
The field of architecture and interior designing, being quite new in Tanzania for a longest time, is a male-dominated field. But in the recent year, we've seen a lot of contribution coming up from women. Like, for example, AAT itself, Architectural Association of Tanzania, we have a lot of women participants, but also we even had a woman president in the past years as well, which really did motivate other women to keep joining up.
The 4th anniversary of AAT reflects the mission and vision of creating better tomorrow of Tanzania through implementation of plans and strategies for the wider interest of the nation. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Peter Mganga, TBC News.
Industries that produce biogas and ethanol in India have begun the process of investing in Tanzania to produce alternative energy from grain crops such as cassava and sugarcane for various uses in the country, including running industrial machines, cars, hospitals and domestic uses. Our reporter Malio Cheto has more.
After visiting the Jaiwanti industry that produces alternative ethanol energy, now the Tanzania delegation has visited the Noble Exchange industry that produces biogas energy and witnessed the production of the gas that is produced from waste from the city of Pune in India. The delegation says the establishment of biogas production plants from the waste that come from homes and markets will help to keep municipalities and cities in the country in the state of cleanliness and generally preserve maintenance of the environment.
We can produce renewable energy that can be used to run cars' engines by using the garbage collected in our cities, and this is a very useful way to reduce the challenge of waste in our cities in Tanzania. As it is in Dar es Salaam, there is a lot of waste. Now, there is a factory that makes a fuel from that waste. The waste is brought here in cylinders and thus put in cars and become clean energy for their cars.
We can collect waste, and this waste becomes product that produces gas, and that gas is used to drive a car.
The management of Indian industries producing biogas and ethanol told the Tanzanian delegates that the steps has been taken to invest in Tanzania in production of renewable energy such as biogas and ethanol to boost agriculture, create employment opportunity, and increase national income.
Required certainly, but it was only for the 45 crores. It is not too much money. So actually it is the entire waste is used, and it is eco-friendly. It is ultimately producing the gas. So all the components of the society, everyone gets benefited from this.
Global South, which are going to bear the maximum brunt of climate change, and I think this is a very, very good action that can be taken on ground, which is very practical, which benefits all the stakeholders. If Tanzanian farmers start growing cassava and we put up projects for converting cassava to ethanol, and then put up programs to use that ethanol both as cooking fuel, also as blended fuel for mobility.
Tanzania delegates visited different industries producing biogas and ethanol, such as Jaiwanti, Noble Exchange, and the Praj producing biogas and ethanol, petroleum station like Indian Oil, HEP, and Brandt mixing ethanol with fuel, petroleum, and selling biogas.
The Regional Commissioner of Dar es Salaam, Albert Chalamila, urged the Tanzania Investment Bank TIB to continue providing loans to investors to invest in various sectors so as to enhance employment growth and the economy. He was opening discussions between leaders of the TIB Bank and its customers in Dar es Salaam, aimed at collecting opinions on what should be done by the bank in improving loans provisions to promote the country's economy.
In Dar es Salaam alone, I have been told the loans provided to my citizens are more than 110 billion, which in terms of an investment of 900 billions is equal to just 12% of all the investments. The citizens of the Dar es Salaam have been using that opportunity.
On the other hand, the acting Director General of the Tanzania Investment Bank, Lilian Basi, says that up to September this year, the bank has invested a total of 980 billion shillings in various projects aimed at promoting the country's economy.
Until the third quarter of 2023, TIB Bank has invested 980 billion. This investment is within projects existing on the bank's balance sheet, but it also includes off-balance sheet deposits, which are projects we manage on behalf of development stakeholders, as I had explained before. But the same in our investment, 93% goes to the private sector, so I can say that we have tried to provide 93% of our services to the private sector.
The bank was established in 1970 in accordance with the aim of providing long and short-term loans to private sectors and government investors. Journalists in the country have been urged to write news aimed at providing solutions to the community and solving various challenges. The call was made in Dar es Salaam by Didier Chansot, the Switzerland ambassador to Tanzania, when handing over tools to some journalists who were trained in the Digital Media Innovation Program.
Media is very important for the society. Online media is becoming more and more important. So their role will become more and more important and crucial to report in an objective way, on an agenda-based reporting and not a news-based reporting. So report on the issues, report on what matters to the people, what is of importance to the people. Don't be afraid to put your finger where it hurts. Because this is why we need the media to tell us, all of us, what's going not so well and how best to correct it. So yeah, the advice is use what you have learned here and do your reporting in a agenda-based way, in a correct way, in an ethical way, in an objective way.
On the other hand, the Chief Executive Officer of Jamii Media, Mike Mushi, elaborated on the objective of the training to journalists. Some of the journalists explained how they have benefited from the knowledge they received for 18 months.
Media is our strength as well, so how we were best suited to upskill a new upcoming online media. And it's a niche where we understand and know it very well. But also, what we believe is that online media has a potential of giving you have local news, but then they have nationwide reach.
We will not produce anything that is, we will find it on our way, but also we will not produce those conferences contents that will differentiate us from other journalists. But the good thing is we were taught to produce quality work.
Through Jamii Media, I learned a lot of things. Firstly, now when I make my story, I know how to balance the story.
I have a good education for news writing and content making.
Before we wind up our local news tonight, let us now have a look on today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania BOT. Don't miss TBC. Don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. It's now time for the latest news in the international news. As compiled and read by Hania Jumbe.
The temporary ceasefire agreement between Israeli and Hamas has entered the 5th day after an extension of 48 hours, during which the government of Israel has approved a list of 50 hostages who deserve to be released. The mediator of the war, Qatar, has said in the agreement 3 Palestinians will be released from Israeli prisons after every Israeli hostage returned from Gaza. Speaking to journalists, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Qatar, Majid El Ansari, says yesterday 11 Israeli and 33 Palestinian prisoners were released. In another step, the World Health Organization has said more people may die from diseases in Gaza if the health system is not repaired. The former president of Mauritania, Mohamed Ould Abdelaziz, has denied allegation of abusing his power for an amazing a lot of wealth. The prosecution demands a 20-year sentence for Aziz, who ruled in Mauritania between 2008 and 2019. Aziz has been responding to the case since January 25th, along with 10 other bigwigs, including 2 former prime ministers, former ministers, and businessmen who are accusing of gaining wealth illegally. The charges he is facing is to accumulate assets worth around 67 million euros by the time of his arrest in March 2021. Along with imprisonment, the prosecution has asked him to return the property. And the military government in Niger has signed an order to repeal the law of 2015 brought to reduce the trade of immigrants traveling from African countries through the country to Europe. The leader of the military government of Niger, General Abdurrahman Tiani, has said that the sentence announced in accordance with the law and their effects will be cancelled. The 2015 law enacted by the Niger government, working with the European Union, aimed to stop an average of 4,000 illegal immigrants per week. The United Nations Human Rights Office has also noted that the law caused migrants to seek dangerous migration routes and led to increased risk of human rights violation. The Agadez area in Niger is the gateway from West Africa to the Sahara and has been an important route for Africans trying to reach Europe through Libya and the Mediterranean Sea, as well as those returning home with the help from the United Nations.
And that was the international news with Hania Jumbe. Sports news is up next. And in sports, new Simba Sports Club head coach Abdulhaq Benchika says he has joined Simba Sports Club and vows to win all competitions and trophies for the Simba fans and Tanzania football supporters in general. Speaking after his announcement in Dar es Salaam today, the head coach Benchika added that he will do everything possible to make sure that Simba is coming back in its winning ways and gives fans joy.
I'm very happy to be here in Tanzania. Simba is our club. I know what I have to do. I am here for winning. I am here for success. We are here for Simba, for all supporter of Simba. All we must to be strong. We must to be performant. We are here for good performance.
After several days of searching, interviewing for the finals, Simba Sports Club has appointed Benchika to be their head coach, replacing sacked Roberto Oliveira. Participants of Hello Mr. Right Season 5 will be given an educational training program, especially development of their talents in sports and entertainment, as well as life skills. Speaking during the launch of the Hello Mr. Right reality show held in Dar es Salaam, the Star Times marketing director David Malisa added that the skills and knowledge to be provided to participants in sports and entertainment industries will help them produce artistic work that will enter the world market and increase their income.
In our program, there will be a special training giving life skills to participants so that when they solve the challenge, they will employ themselves in sports and the entertainment industry.
Lakini tunaangalia baada ya pale nini kinafanyika.
Hello Mr. Right reality show has helped many people to change their lives in all aspects, especially in sports and entertainment industries. And that marks the end of the news bulletin for tonight. Don't miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. tonight. On behalf of the whole team, I am Kanki Mwegomole. Good night.